I don't know if this is scented or what's going on. I have to use my phone again because I've lost my SD card. So I mean, the quality is much better. The sound quality is not, and I can't see myself, so that makes placement hard. First world problems, am I right? Hi, I'm Michaela and I talk about books. Today I'm going to be telling you about the books I've read since April, which is only 3. And I'm actually not sure. I can't remember what I have read and haven't read this year. Goodreads is leaving books out of my read list, even though I've marked it as read. They're all out of order. So, books I've read since I read Caraval that I can remember. And the first is Talking as Fast as I Can by Lauren Graham. I listened to it on audiobook and it made me cry a whole bunch. If you like Lauren Graham, Parenthood or Gilmore Girls, or if you love acting, you will love this. This woman, holy I just love her so much, and I love her so much even more after listening to this. She read it so well. It was like we were just chilling on a couch and she was just telling me her life story. It was so nice. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars because that's what she deserves. And we're back in a different position because the video cut out and then I watched the footage back and it was so much higher, and I noticed when I turned off the light, this lighting was actually fine. I read Stardust by Neil Gaiman, which is beautifully written. I've been wanting to read this pretty much since I ever saw the movie, which I think was 2008. This movie, one of my favorites of all time. I love it! So I've been like meaning to read this book for almost 10 years now, and I finally did. The writing style is beautiful. Obviously it's Neil Gaiman. If you've read any of his books, you know how it is. It took me forever to read it because this cover is like gross. I think it's ugly. It looks like clip art. My preferred cover that I love is $40. For some reason I couldn't justify it even though I paid $40 for heaps of books. I think I gave it like a 4 out of 5 on Goodreads, although it's probably more like a 3.8. I did find it very anticlimactic even though it was gorgeous. So Charlie Cox is the main character in the movie and Henry Cavill is also in it. His character's not in the book, but they fight. And I think that's really funny because Charlie Cox is Daredevil, which is Marvel, and Henry is Superman, which is DC. And they fight in it. Daredevil and Superman fight, so it's like AU. And then I read A Court of Winds and Ruin by Sarah J Maas. I liked this a lot, but not as much as the other books in the series. If you would like to watch my in-depth reviews, I don't know that I'd call it like a proper review because my thoughts on this book, there is a link to it in the description below, or you can click here. I don't know if I can put annotations mid-video anymore. Now onto my current reads. That book is now on the floor. First up, we have The Raven Boys by Maggie Steve Otter. First book in the Raven Cycle by, The Raven Cycle by the Raven Boys. First novel in the Raven Cycle. I am really loving this a lot. It has unexpected storylines, I guess. The mythology it takes on is not, I didn't think that was going to be in it, and I love it. For some reason I keep forgetting that it is a part of a series. I'm like, this isn't going to wrap up in time. There's this whole storyline that we haven't explored yet. And then I remember that it's a part of a series that's like 3 more books. It's gonna wrap up just fine. And I think everyone loved the last book too, so that's promising. Binge by Tyler Oakley. I think I'm like 3/4 of the way through that one. I've been listening to it for a very long time now. I have the hard copy of the book which has the pictures in it, and I like flip through all the pictures while I listen to the book. He's read it very well. When I listen to audiobooks, I like to do other things unless it's like getting real intense, then all I can do is like sit there and listen to it. Also on audiobook, I was listening to Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. And if you've been following my channel, I've been reading this for so long. And I was listening to the audiobook, which is read by, I forget her name, but she's very good at acting. She was in Gone Girl and she plays Jane in the 2005 adaptation of this book. For some reason, when she reads the audiobook of this, she's very monotone. I was listening to it just fine, and then one day I'm like, I'm gonna read the actual book, and I can't go back to listening to the audiobook. And lastly, 2 other audiobooks. The first of which is The Lair of Dreams by Libba Bray. I started that the other night when I was on the train, and I got off the train and it was like 10 p.m. and I had to walk home. It's like a 5 to 10 minute walk from the train station to my house, and it was like dark. And then I was listening to this book. What am I like listening to? Can you tell I'm a 90s child? I just have to do the hand phone. I was listening to this audiobook, and then I remembered how scary the first book was for me, and so I turned that off, and then I started listening to Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone by J.K. Rowling, read by Stephen Fry. Yeah, so that'll be a nice little nostalgic thing. I'm gonna flip through the... I look like I'm hitting myself. I'm gonna flip through the illustrated edition and look at the nice pictures along with the audiobook. I don't know why I was like, telephone. I guess like I listen to audiobooks on my phone, so that concludes my books I've read and books I'm currently reading, and hopefully I'll finish these. I think, well, I'll finish The Raven Voice tonight. That's all. Thank you for watching. Like this video, please, if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more messy videos from me. I actually have like a whole list of ideas for videos, and I just don't have the time to film them, and it makes me sad. Or I have the time, but I'm just doing other things. Like not reading, clearly. Okay, that's enough. We'll find one. It'll look super dodgy, and people are gonna look at it and click on the video. Bye! Guys, Henry Cavill saved a turtle from traffic the other day. When will he marry me?